Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, guys. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And tonight we'll be reviewing The Thompsons, a sequel to The Hamiltons that was released in 2012.
Yeah, The Thompsons were released in 2012. The original movie, the Hamiltons, was released in 2006. Now, interesting because the people were about 6 years older in the movie as well, so it works out pretty good. Because the little boy who was in the first movie, he got a different actor, Lenny. He's a different actor, but he's gone from something like an 8 or 9 year old to a teenager.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been moving around a lot during the time between the movies.
Yeah, since we left the Hamiltons, they have recently moved to another neighborhood and
a different country.
In a different area.
They're a different country.
Yeah.
The original movie, The Hamiltons, was based in America, and they sort of they did a few naughty things, and I think we reviewed it, didn't we, recently?
Yeah, we reviewed the first one.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the sequel.
So the first one there, they sort of they did too many naughty things in their own backyard, and they're on the run for a few years, and now they've made it their way over to England because they got some distant relatives they've become aware of that they're trying to locate and see if they get some sort of support from them.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, to make the story a little bit more awesome, they brought back 4 old members of the original cast.
Well, apart from Lenny, the little one, they're all the originals.
Yes.
Which is good, yeah. And now, getting back into the original movie, The Hamiltons, was written and produced and directed by the Butcher Brothers.
Again.
The original, I just said. Are you listening to what I'm talking about, please, for once?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. The original movie was done by the Butcher Brothers, okay? So was this one. So, now, the Butcher Brothers, that's Michael Altieri and Phil Flores. So, yeah, they've got a good feel for this sort of story and this sort of film.
Yeah, I gotta admit,
genre.
though, the graphics in this one is quite different from...
I think it's a bit better.
Yeah, in the last one, it felt like maybe the camera footage they were using or the cameras they were using was quite different.
Possibly, or different DOP.
Different post editing stuff they used.
Anyway, getting back into producing and directing, this was produced by the Butcher Brothers. Yeah, like I said before, Michael Altieri and Phil Flores. Also, who came along for the ride was Travis Stevens, Rob Weston, and Snowfort Pictures, whoever they are. Directed by the Butcher Brothers. Written by Michael Altieri, one of the Butcher Brothers, and Corey Nuff, which is the name of the main actor in the movie. Aha! How's that grab you? Corey plays the main actor. He plays Francis Francis Thompson. Yeah, interesting. So he didn't write the first one. So he got into it a bit. He made friends of everybody, maybe. Now, I don't know whether this movie or the previous movie actually went to the theatres, the picture theatres. I don't know whether it went straight to DVD, telemovie. I couldn't tell you. However.
Yeah, because we found out this movie doesn't have too much trivia to offer. Again.
I can't find it. It's like a black hole. You know, woo, stuff goes in, doesn't come out, so I can't source it.
But as I said before, we'll do our own critique on it, and I'll give you a bit of a full plot of explaining the plot to you.
However, I don't know what. It might have made some money along the line, or went straight to TV or DVD, like I said, or whatever. But it cost about $3 million to make this one. I don't know what the first one cost, but I don't know if we even had the figures for it.
True.
But I'll go through the cast, and then you can go through the storyline.
We'll do.
Okay, I broke it down into 2 family groups: the Thompsons and the Stewarts, and other. But it's mainly the Thompsons who are the family who are on the run. You got a guy called Corey Nuff, Knauf. I hope I pronounced it correctly. He plays Francis Thompson. He's the younger teenage brother, who is the focus of both movies. Both movies. Now, Joseph McKellar, he plays Wendell Thompson. Wendell and his sister, played by, excuse me, oh Lord, I got paperwork here. Mackenzie Fergus plays Darlene Thompson. Now, she's the other twin. Now, I've got written down here they're crazy. No, not crazy, but they're very interesting. They live life to the fullest, so to speak. There's incest here. They do thrill kills. They do whatever. They just don't
They practically
care.
are the outcasts in the family, meaning they'll do anything that's considered dangerous or bad.
Now, here we are. We have
Go on.
Samuel Child. He plays David Thompson. He's the older brother who's trying to be the family head after Mum and Dad passed away.
Yeah.
Before the beginning of the previous movie. So Mum and Dad were already dead. And a young guy called Ryan Hartwig is playing their youngest brother, Lenny Thompson. Now, he had a minor role. The Lenny character had a very, very minor role in the first movie. He was locked in a cage for most of the movie.
Yeah, and left unknown to the audience.
We didn't know what he was or who he was.
It was.
The thing is, he was locked away so he wouldn't. Well, he wouldn't do naughty things. I'm not going to say too because Sarah's going to tell you the story in a minute.
Yeah.
But the role of young Lenny in the first movie was played by Nicholas Fanella, but this time round it's Ryan Hartwig. So who knows why? Anyway, a quick run through the Stewarts, who their adversaries, for a better
or worse.
Better word for it. Now, Daniel O'Meara plays. It's just that Father Stewart. I don't think his name's ever mentioned. That's why I got Father.
They always
Stewart.
called him Father or
Father.
Stewart, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah, Mr. Stewart. Yeah. Selena Giles plays Mother Stewart, and now Elizabeth Henstridge plays Riley Stewart. She's a bit of a love interest.
She's cute and
for
pretty.
Frances, and she's like the last girl standing in the Stewarts. Sean Brown plays Cole Stewart. Tom Holloway plays Ian Stewart.
I mean, they're sort of brothers.
They're two brothers, and I wouldn't say they're crazy, but they just love killing. They're really nice guys, apart from the fact they got the spud.
You've seen Darlene and Wendell. You guys will not compare.
Every family
These
has
guys
one or two. But
are very wild and dangerous.
And they do whatever Dad says.
And when they are in a match with dear old Wendell and his sister and their family, it's practically a match.
Yeah. Excuse me.
With,
interesting.
Yeah, so you have to look at your winning tickets now.
I wonder during the movie you start wondering who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, and it's a good mind fest that way, because you think our guys who are on the run as killers come to this little country village, and these people seem to be really together, nice people.
Yeah. Together and all that.
And yet together and organised and everything, and they seem like very nice, even though they're vampires.
Should I mention?
But then, in the first movie it came out.
In the last movie, it didn't explain they're vampires, but in this one, it's pretty much
they're vampires.
clear to the belt.
But these guys were born. They weren't made. Okay, so they're a little bit different to normal vampire stock.
So they can't bite and make people their own either, if they wanted to.
Can they?
No.
No. Oh, they're going to have sex with them. That's right, yeah. But they can bite them and eat them and get nourishment out of them. Actually, the Stewarts are a bit different. They've learned how to eat living human food, so they can blend in easily, where the Thompsons haven't learnt that skill.
Yeah.
That comes out of the movie. It's only a little bit of trivia there.
It does have a good continuation there when you think about it.
Well, everything works good. I mean, that's why when you got a movie like 6 years apart and a different person writing and so on, so you think, are they going to lose the continuity? No, I don't think they have. It's a good standalone movie, but it works good as a sequel. So whatever. Now, do you want to take over having a chat?
Yes, I'll start at at the beginning again.
Good place. Let's start at the very beginning. That's a very
Where
good place to start.
where it left off with the first movie. I'll give you a bit of a brief. These guys are from America, and they're on the run because they're vampires, obviously.
They've killed too many locals.
Yes. And
Yeah.
they end up going to a sort of a gas station where it was held up by a few robbers.
Yeah, and
And
well,
Lenny gets accidentally shot in a hit.
he gets shot in the shoulder or
Not
chest,
intentionally.
whatever, by one of the naughty people who try
Yeah,
and rob the
and
place.
dear old Wendell, Darling, and Francis, they kind of snap, and then they killed all the people, even the robbers inside
They were hungry.
the very gas station restaurant.
They did
things.
stop for a bite.
Yeah, true word, well spoken. So now they have no places left to hide in America. So the only other place they have to go to is the UK. I mean the Europe, because
Well, Europe,
According
United
to-
Kingdom is the end of it.
yeah, and according to Francis, who narrates in this movie, just like he did in the last one, he explains that his mum and his dad, they came from Europe and they don't know much about their past, and they hope to
Yeah.
find a few vampires down there to help them
Yeah,
help
some
Lenny.
family members, so to speak.
Yes.
Hmm.
Of course, Wendell and Darlene, they do their own thing and go to France to find anyone up there. While David and Lenny and Francis, they stay in England for
Yeah,
a
because
bit.
they had a lead on a little country town called such and such or other.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But we have a lead. It's not much of a lead, but it's a lead and a name. What's the Marston's, was it? Marston?
Yeah, Marston or something.
Marston? Oh,
Anyway,
whatever.
it doesn't
was the
matter.
name, yeah.
So anyway, Francis goes on this lead. He travels down to this little town, and he goes to a pub, and this is where he meets Riley Stewart, who is a very beautiful brunette, and he's really smitten with her.
I was smote. Mm-hmm.
And of course, he nearly gets recognized by a local policeman or something. So,
Well, local. I don't know if he's a full policeman or a volunteer policeman.
or
in the country
volunteer
town.
policeman.
Yeah, he had pictures of that family on the run. Mm-hmm. And he had it with him, and he still didn't recognise the guy. I know you from somewhere. No,
I know you.
no,
but,
hello, look at that in a piece of paper in your hand, goofy. Yeah.
well, I think he's just trying to catch him off guard, maybe.
No, he didn't. He didn't know squat.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
eventually, Francis kills him and tries to hold the remaining bar members hostage and everything. But unfortunately, he gets outmatched by two of the Stewarts, the younger brothers I mentioned, who were
Cole and the other one.
Yeah.
Cole and Ian Stewart.
Yeah, they kind of outmatch him and they
But they were
knock him
stronger
out.
and faster and stuff. I don't know, whatever. They were good. They did Daddy's bidding quite well.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes into a bit of a brief out conscious for a bit, and then eventually, Miss Father Stewart apologizes and says that he didn't knew what to expect from them or from Francis or
It was
anything
a bit
like
of
that.
a test.
It was more of a test
yes.
to see what he would do. And,
I would have failed. Yeah, well,
and
not
of
very
course,
good at
dear old
test.
Francis tells his story to Stuart, tells him about how they've been on the run and that they're trying to find Lenny some help in hopes to get him recovered, because the human blood that would normally help them would not heal them, completely heal them.
No.
It's practically a food source, but it's not.
But it won't
it's not
heal them.
It doesn't
But
heal them.
Something comes out in this movie later
Another
on.
thing that's mentioned in this movie is that that just like humans, the vampires in this, they can be killed by any means.
Yeah, you can
Like
be
any
run
human
over,
means.
shot, stabbed, beaten up, Whatever, yeah, it was good, a bit different. But see, these were different types. They were born, not created. So.
Yeah, meaning they can be killed just like any other human being.
So that actually makes them a bit like, how Blade was a day walker.
Yeah.
They're a bit like that. Because they walk around day and do different things and whatever. Yeah, and they can have a relatively normal life and blend in. And probably they can grow old, obviously, because Lenny's getting older.
True. So
Because they were born, so they're living vampires, not dead vampires.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway, Riley kind of warms up to Frances, and more. She's not just she's not a vampire per se. As it turns out, she doesn't have any vampire abilities. As it turns out.
So in her family, her brothers were born vampires, and she wasn't.
No,
for some reason.
As it turns out, that there is a bit of explanation behind it, and thanks to her being a non-vampire, she's either considered useless to her family.
But she also helps to go on hunting expeditions, so as they called them when looking for
new meals.
Meals, dinner.
Yeah.
Liquid diet.
Yeah, but they still consider her not really an important member of their family. And everything.
How rude.
Especially when Riley tries to defend Francis and when gets confined.
Don't chew him up, father. I love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Soon enough, the stewards reveal what they're going to be planning. They plan on taking Francis's sister in hopes of impregnating her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, see, was it their
plan was revealed.
Their family bloodline can't continue easily because the sister is not a vampire.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I think Dad's been getting into her pants too. There was a suggestion to that where he had his hand on her butt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's been having sex with his wife and made the boys, but now he needs someone younger, and his daughter may not be fertile. But they wanted Darlene, so she can be the new mother of the new breed.
New brood. This is not the first time this has happened. Frances later discovers a few other dead vampire ladies who may have been were subjects to this sort of torture.
And they didn't take the seed didn't take, so to speak. So they dispatched them.
Yes. Soon enough, Wendell and Darlene arrive, and they try to dispatch Wendell and abduct dear old Darlene, and then we get a bit of a. I'm not going to explain what the scene is because it grosses me out every time.
Ew.
But it turns into a sort of not a threesome, but more of a forced
rape. It's sort of threesome. Will you stop doing it? The two guys raped her. Okay, end of story. Okay,
well,
not threesome.
Okay, well, I think the father got in on it too.
I don't know if Dad did. The two boys did because he wanted the younger seeds in there.
Yeah. Anyway, so Francis eventually gets help from Riley to finally get both the brothers and kill them both.
Yeah, he couldn't have happened to two nicer lads.
Yes, and eventually, one of Stuart's acquaintances, who's another vampire, I should say, is plans on going down to see David and Lenny and plan to dispatch them both. Maybe I think, but luckily enough, dear old David and Lenny they got the upper hand, and dear old Lenny got the cure he needed.
He did. Now, the thing is, Buggerlugs, David and Lenny were together, and they were attacked by this guy, Cyrus, who was
that's the name.
Who was sent. You call him Stuart.
Cyrus. He was an acquaintance of Stuart.
He's a family member.
Okay, family member. Sorry.
I don't know his real name. His full name. He says Cyrus. He's part of their bloodline. And now the thing is, being a vampire of the same type, and he's sort of deemed to be the same bloodline stroke family, that's what the young Lenny needed to heal.
Yeah.
He needed the blood of his kind, his family blood, that sort of stuff to actually heal him.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that, but something in Lenny told him he had to bite the guy and drink the blood.
Ha. Yeah, eventually
There
it
you go.
heals him, and dear old Dave and Lenny, they arrive at the Stewart's house, and where at one point Stewart acts kindly to him again, just like he did with Francis. Explained to him about how their mum, Francis and David's mum, was also a breeder, and
But
she
left.
left because with her own love interest, her husband.
Yeah. But I often wonder how they died. It didn't say, did it?
No, we're left out in the dark about that
I wonder
one.
whether the Stewarts did it.
I don't know. I like to think it was a car crash or something.
Yeah, maybe, but
Well, anyway, it doesn't
whatever.
matter. I like to think that maybe the mother may have died in childbirth, maybe, with Lenny, maybe. I don't know
Dad
how.
died in childbirth as well, did he?
Or maybe he got into an accident. I don't know.
Whatever.
Again, doesn't matter. Moving on. So, dear old David and Francis, they try to fight back Stuart eventually, and Stuart reveals.
You keep saying Stewart. Who's Stewart?
That's the name. Yeah, that's the name of his
Father.
What do you want to be called, Father Stuart?
Well, his name's not Stewart. They're all called Stewart.
Well, the head steward of the family.
The head
dummy.
steward. The head steward dummy. There you go.
Man, that's stupid.
Father Stewart.
Anyway, eventually he shows that he's got more fangs than you could count.
Yeah,
in his mouth.
he looks rather good as a vampire, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Really creepy.
It looks really creepy, and eventually it was a little hard to take him down because considering he's a very strong vampire.
Yeah, he's very fit.
And as I often said, the stronger the original vampire, the most likely it will be hard to take down.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, Francis and David, they're practically they're children compared to this guy.
But beware, I saw The Exorcist. Now she was a child. Linda Blair.
Moving on.
That's right.
Divas.
What?
So anyway, they eventually they finally up in hand. They finally kill this guy, or not more or less. They finally get him, and eventually their sister kills him.
Oh, that's right. Because he was a bit annoyed about after being raped by the guys and everything. So
Yeah, she got her revenge.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorn and other
of course,
things.
we don't get to see it. We're just left to assume the worst, which we do.
Exactly.
And eventually, the Thompsons they start packing up their stuff and try to leave. And Riley, who is a little upset that she's mixed feelings about. She wanted to help Francis, but at the same time she feels guilty about betraying her family.
Yeah, and the family is just four bodies. My mum and dad and the two brothers were laying there on the grass get ready for burial, and she thought, to hell with it. I'll go with Francis and have a new life.
Yeah, she eventually gets to the car with him, and they ride off into the sunset. And then we get a post-credits scene where we see Wendell and Darlene eating cucumber sandwiches in a garden with a nice little girl, and she is talking about how it's great. They talking about how they're getting a good taste of the area in a funny.
And they're smiling,
And she says, "Oh, I can't wait to introduce you to my twin sister." And they both look at each other.
Well, they're twins too.
And they say,
They get one
"We
each.
have a big taste for
Twins."
And they both look at each other, and well, you get
have
you
a bit
get
of a
the
snicker.
picture. Yeah. They haven't changed very much since the last movie.
They're always going to be the
They're
evil ones.
practical predators.
And actually, then that was a movie ended. Do you wonder if it actually was going to be a bit sequel to that one?
Good question, Mike.
I mean, it's been a while, so maybe they've decided to leave it. Yeah, leave Sleeping Vampires lie.
Well, it's been let me see.
9 years now.
9 years,
Yeah, so-
and maybe
so
just maybe some of
maybe-
the actors
maybe
have
not.
moved on already. Maybe.
Could be. You throw some new actors into it. Butcher Brothers, what are you doing?
Hey, they might be busy on something else.
Anyway, a bit of trivia and crap time now. I like trivia.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, the first movie, the Hamiltons, was filmed in America, and this was primarily done, if not all of it, in England.
Yeah.
Now, it was around a place called, the Ringlestone Inn near Harwich in Kent. So the locals in the UK would know what it is, and I, as coming from Australia, have got no freaking idea where it is. Anyway, like I said before, don't know whether it was released in the theatres, so I don't know anything about box office, how much money it's made, but it did cost about $3 million to make this wonderful production.
I gotta admit, it's kind of clever how they did it in the UK instead of just in America.
Well, they're running away. Where do you want it? Italy?
Good point.
Greece?
I did think it was interesting that some of the
Turkey?
stuff there.
Hungary? Yeah, Transylvania. They're very nice. No.
Doubt it.
No.
I imagine
I want to drink your
it does make me think of
blah, blah, blah.
Shut up.
Sorry.
It makes me think of Interview with the Vampire, where
Yes, Anne
Louis
Rice.
and his and
The Buglugs.
Buglugs. Sorry guys. I'm bad with names. Oh yeah, Claudia. They went all over the place to find other vampires
Yeah.
or other members of their kind.
Didn't they find Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
Over in France or something?
Armand is what his name.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his
And
name.
of course, they were left out of the loop about certain things.
Yeah, because they weren't really part of the group,
No.
However,
Anyway, so I do think this one was pretty awesome.
It's not bad. Look, it's not bad. When you have a sequel, someone say you sort of compare it, the movies, which one was the best, the first one or the second one, yada yada. I think this one's got more action. It's a bit darker. Where the other one had a bit lighter.
Well, it was more secretive in the
secretive,
first
but
one.
things going on, but a bit lighter. This one's a bit heavier, a bit darker, which is good. I like it.
Well,
and a little bit of stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, the first one was more like Chainsaw Massacre meets the vampire meets Dracula. Considering that back, it didn't. Like, you didn't suspect there were vampires until way to the end.
Yeah, we saw this. In the first movie, you thought, oh, it's just thrill kills.
Yeah, that they're just to kill people in general.
Yeah, but I think it just takes the story to the next level. This next movie. So, second movie, I think is. It's not like The Babysitter. I mean, I didn't like the Babysitter movie. The first one was good, but the second one was better. So I think it brings it together and tie it like in one nice big package to put the bow on it. And I think it's the same sort of thing. Because I did like Babysitter 2 more than I did like Babysitter 1. And I think I'd say I'd have to probably look at this the same way. I think the Thompsons was a tad better than the Hamiltons. But this brought the whole lot together in the second movie.
Okay. So one of the other things I like about this movie was that I like the chemistry between Francis and Riley a lot.
Oh, yeah, it was quite good. I mean, how would you put it?
I thought it was kind of sweet. Like,
I mean, there was a bit of magic when she first met him.
Yeah.
But she was still working for Dad.
Yeah.
She was still in the hunting mode, I suppose.
But
she started to feel sorry for him and his family, of course.
And they have a lot in common because Frances wishes she could be a normal person, while she wishes she could be more closer to her family. You know, be able to be close to her family.
Yeah, and the family were really, can I say, assholes?
Yeah, they're practically nasty to her.
Mum and Dad, father and mother, and Cole and his brother were really assholes.
Yeah, they didn't like her very much. They were practically very verbal and probably physical abusive to her.
They came out. They really didn't want it. Didn't like. You can't breed. We don't care. You're useless. You know.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah. And she wasn't a vampire.
Yeah. Even though she tried her hand at assisting them getting their blood they need.
Lining up, getting candidates. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Exactly.
Okay.
So she wasn't exactly all, completely useless.
No, she's right. And rather attractive girl.
And I think Francis liked her a lot more, that she was normal, and he didn't have to hide the fact he was a vampire, from her.
Francis has always been a nice guy. He fell in love with a girl in the first movie who was a prisoner that her family were draining out blood from for food, and he saved her. But when he saved her, he took her away. Then he started to turn and become. His vampire teeth came out, and the bloodlust came up, and he had a nibble. So, he saved her for lunch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I'm glad that he did find someone who knows about his secret and is willing to be with him.
Yeah, nice.
Without having to.
Who said mixed marriages don't work?
True. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, they may not have any vampire children, but maybe they could have a few humans once.
They might have. You never know your luck. He might have a stronger gene. Whatever.
Who knows?
And it might take over and have some little vampires running around one day.
Well, yeah. 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 I wish I could tell you guys more about this movie, like other reviews.
I know. I've got a little bit on reception here.
Okay.
Not a lot. I can't get much information on this one. However, here we go. Reception. I've got a review. Now, Beyond Hollywood, whoever they are, wrote, "The Thompsons is very much a pleasant surprise. An entertaining and reasonably well-crafted modern vampire tale. Though a little bit True Blood. The film is considerably more engaged than most others of its type, boosted by a likeable returning cast." Like I said before, they all came back past the little kid. The film's real strength are its surprisingly human script written by the Butcher Brothers and Nauf, whatever his name is, and solid character work, both of which help to keep the viewer involved. Yeah, it's one of those sort of, how you watch a movie and you can identify with the people, you get drawn into a TV show or a movie. Oh, yeah. And I like that guy, I see what he's going through, and you start to believe they're really who they are. Well, it's that same sort of feel. It just feels like a nice, a nice family you can identify with. However, they're vampires. That's nothing. Yeah, they're Jewish or they're Islamic or they're Baptist or something or other. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We like them anyway. Well, they're vampires. Who cares?
Yeah. So they're easy, and it was awesome to watch them.
Yeah, they were nice, and the acting wasn't bad. But we think we saw it and we like the camera work. We like the continuity of the through it. We like the way the two movies actually came together quite nicely. They didn't lose anything.
And as padding, as we often mention, there's a bit of padding from the original film too.
Well, to link them, but that's about all. Apart from that, they didn't rely a lot on the original movie. Just a little bit.
A little bit, just enough to
just set the groundwork a bit.
Set the minutes or sequence.
Yeah, so you knew what I'm talking about. So which is fine, just in case you didn't see the first movie. It was a damn fine movie. I wish there was more. I keep saying it's about independent movies. I wish there was more new stuff coming out from these independent guys. There is a lot of independent stuff being made, but then it's not all good quality independent stuff. I'm not knocking anybody. You got to start somewhere. Don't get me wrong.
True.
But the problem is that when you get something like this, the Butcher Brothers, we did that Chastity Bites movie last year. Sometime. These are really good, solid, fun movies. They're great. They're interesting. And wish there's more of that caliber of movie coming out from the independents.
Agreed.
Instead of let's do another slasher movie, run around in the forest, some guy with an axe or a machete or a knife or something or other. It's been done. When you get something a little bit different for different take on a storyline and try to make up a new story, that's where to me it's more interesting. I mean, Jason Voorhees has been done to death in other spin-offs, and other, that sort of thing. You just can't keep doing it all the time. Someone's got to come up with fresh ideas, and these guys are coming up with fresh ideas.
True.
I think it's great. Yeah.
So anyway, I think, how do we rate this movie, or do you?
I'm going to give this. That's hard. Yeah, mate. It's good. It's a solid movie. I've been trying to find things to knock it around, but I can't really find anything to knock it off its perch. I'm going to give it 9.5.
I'm going to give it 9.5 too. Because I often think that there is some things there wasn't. Well, again, I'm not going to pick at it.
Say something. As long as it's not trollish, you're okay. What?
Well, there were moments I did find there was something wrong, but other than that, the story was pretty straightforward, which is a good story. But I still preferred the first one, as you know.
Well, I'm different. I like the second one better. But anyway,
because I did like the secrecy, leaving the audience wondering, what are these people? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Are they psychos?
No.
No, they turn out to be something more.
Aha. Two of them are psychos, the twins.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're bizarre.
They're weirdos.
They're cuckoo. Cuckoo.
Hey, don't insult cuckoo clocks.
I
I can't think of anything. This is, it's really hard to talk about things without going over old ground. But yeah, all I can say is, good movie.
Yeah, I wish I could get more stuff about it, but I don't seem to couldn't find anything enough about it.
Hey, the Butcher Brothers are out there.
Which you mentioned, they are.
Well, and you hear this, someone say, "Hey, there's a review on the movie." Drop Sarah a line on her. Is this through Facebook?
Yeah, through Facebook.
Yeah, through Facebook. Drop a line, say, "Hey, it's great, really good, blah blah." And and if there's any more information you can put up, we'd really like to know about it because you guys are clever, really good, really talented people.
Yeah, sweet.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, so this is Sarah Stephenson.
And Michael.
Saying, see you guys around for the next one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Bye.
Bye, guys.